even as horrifying images have been coming in from Turkey as a result of the earthquake that struck the country weeks ago. Here in India, we have a crisis we're not talking about enough. The crisis in Joshimath of Uttarakhand. Even as the state government has announced that the Char Dham Yatra will commence from April, fresh fissures have appeared on the road. This is in fact in Joshimath along the Badrinath highway. This is the stretch that goes right up to Badrinath via Joshimath. Fresh cracks on it has again put the Char Dham Yatra on alert. Residential areas in Joshimath have also developed new cracks. Joshimath and some other Himalayan towns continue to reel under land subsidence, resulting in damage to homes, loss of land and livelihoods. Himachal Pradesh's Chamba district, close to Joshimath, also witnessed an earthquake, a magnitude of 3.6 on the Richter scale, mounting to a high alert in the region, considering that already we're seeing these kind of cracks.
So let us show you some fresh visuals of this crack. It is a very wide crack which we have discovered at this road, and you can see it's a full winger crack and a hand can go inside it. So it's a handful crack, we can say. And look at the width of this crack. It is causing, like, it's a nerve picture right now. The government is claiming that we have taken full control over the Joshimath subsidence, but the picture is contradicting the claims. BRO is also on regular monitoring activity, and BRO release says that we are regularly maintaining and regularly filling the cracks which have emerged recently. So right now it is of worrying concerns. Experts says that this area should be called a eco-sensitive zone, and government should act on it. With Kamal Nayan Silodi from Chamoli, Ankit Sharma, India Today.
And joining us here on India Today is Dr. Purnachandra Rao, Chief Scientist of Seismology at the National Geophysical Research Institute. Sir, good evening. Pleasure having you here with us on India Today. I was reading some of the points that you've made, sir, about why we here in India also need to be on high alert right now. You're saying that an earthquake in Uttarakhand is imminent. You're saying it could happen any time.
Yeah, firstly, thank you very much for having me on this channel, and let me start by saying that the entire Himalayan belt is a known tectonic zone, and great earthquakes have happened in the past, and this what is called crustal deformation is taking place all along. Joshimath is the focus at the moment, but we have seen these kind of things happening elsewhere also. And coming to the possibility of an earthquake here, I must tell you that we already have had great earthquakes in the past. It's not like it's going to happen for the first time, and we need to understand that in the last 100 years or so, we had more than 4 great earthquakes in places like Shillong, Assam and Himachal, and eastern part of Nepal. So what we feel is that since the entire Indian plate is colliding with the Eurasian plate, so we have pockets where we have not seen a great earthquake in the last 100 or 200 years or so.
Sure.
So this area is called seismic gap, which lies between the Himachal and the eastern Nepal sector. So that includes Uttarakhand and western Nepal areas.
We've been seeing, Dr. Rao, a lot of land subsidence in Uttarakhand. Is that an indicator perhaps that there could be some sort of tectonic plate shift, that there could be an earthquake coming? Why is it, sir, that you believe that this is something that's in the offing, perhaps that it's imminent?
Yeah, so these kind of movements do happen in tectonically active zones. So what that means is when two plate boundaries are colliding, the region is unstable, and therefore you will find crustal movements, and sometimes that also leads to sinking. But of course there could be many other reasons for this phenomenon. But why Uttarakhand? The answer to this is that Uttarakhand and western Nepal, they lie in a region which have not experienced a great earthquake in the past, and that makes us to believe that all the stress that is getting accumulated along this segment of Himalaya, it has to get released at some point of time. And since the other segments of Himalaya have already experienced some of the great earthquakes, so the possibility of next earthquake is in this region. And that's precisely why it's referred in the scientific circles as the seismic gap, a gap region where stress accumulation has happened, but the release has not yet happened.
So my final question to you, do we have any inkling based on your studies of when perhaps this could happen, and how do we be prepared for it? Because what you also seem to suggest is that it's going to be a massive one. It's going to be to the magnitude and the scale of what we witnessed in Turkey.
Yeah, first of all, let me clarify that the earthquake that occurred in Turkey is actually not a great earthquake. Technically speaking, earthquakes of magnitude 8 and above are called great earthquakes, and we have seen some of them in the Himalaya in the past. So the reason for such immense devastation in Turkey is slightly different. I mean, I would believe that the quality of buildings must have been extremely poor, leading to such terrible collapse of so many buildings.
So you believe it could be
worse,
not,
therefore,
that there could be a higher magnitude quake
Turkey
here?
Earthquake. Yes, there could be a higher magnitude quake here, but I am not suggesting that the devastation could be worse, because the devastation again depends on many other factors which are specific to this region. So therefore I would suggest that we do not compare with what happened in Turkey and get panicked about it, because I believe that Turkey and Syria, the quality of constructions was extremely poor. But yes, I do believe that earthquakes larger than that could happen in this region. We have already seen 4 of them, which are in fact much above magnitude 8.
Okay. Dr. Rao, thank you so much for joining us here on India Today. I don't mean to spread panic in any manner, but the need of the hour is for us to be prepared. Like Dr. Rao said, the problem in places like Turkey was also the poor construction of buildings. So perhaps we can learn lessons from that and ensure we're better prepared in case such a disaster strikes for us in Uttarakhand or any other part of the country, considering that there are many high-risk zones across India as well.